Welcome back to Nicholas and Honey Johnson's YouTube channel. I'm with First Choice Lawn Care, so I'm going to show you a couple things here today. One of the questions get asked is, how do you spool the string for the string trimmer? Now, I just took off the head. It's currently raining outside, so I just wanted to do this indoors. You'll notice that there's two tabs on either side, and all you do is stick your thumb into one, turn it around, stick your thumb into the other, and pull off. Now that's just the cover. On the inside, you'll notice we have, of course, the little spool itself. You can just take that out like so. And then for the string, today I've pulled out a yellow type of string, but this isn't normally the kind that I use. I just want you guys to be able to see it on video. The one that I use is called Max Red. It's twisted up on itself, so it has a much better durability when you're out in the field using it. I like it. Seems to work pretty well. But down to the spooling, so I got the two strings here. They're cut pretty much at equal length, as you can see. And what I do is I look inside, and it's going to be a little hard to see, but there's two holes that are down there. So you just put one string in, put the other string in like so, and then you're going to want to bend it going the opposite direction. You don't want to go with it. This is going to hold it in place. So for that first turn, you're going to want to do it pretty tight. But then after that, I'm actually going to loosen my grip here a little bit. So one of the things that could happen is when this thing is going at high speed, if your spool is wound too tightly, the wires themselves, the strings themselves will actually fuse into each other. So you want to avoid that. So you can just hold your hand like this and actually just use your other hand to do the wrapping. And that way, with your finger being here, you can always make sure they're going into the right place. Now, you can, for this particular one, you can use up to 6 feet of string. I've chosen to do a little bit smaller just for the sake of the video. I'm just gonna do this real fast. Alright. And then, I'm gonna leave these long just for viewing sake, but you take one string, and you're gonna hit it into that little nook right there. And you take the other one and you hook it into the next one. Now, one of the things that actually makes this really easy is if you're paying attention, you have these little spooks right here. You place it down, push down the spring, and then place it right here. It'll pop right back up, but the holes are lined up right here. So when you go to put this down, you just take your finger like so, and you put the other one down, do it like so. It should stay in place. That way, you're not trying to hold it together while trying to put this thing on. You can do that, something really wrong with doing that, but it just makes it easier. Now the other thing you're gonna wanna take notice of is when you put these strings in there, you really want it to be flush to the bottom. If you put these on and it's coming up and you put the cover on already, what happens is as soon as you hit something hard, the string will just break right off, which defeats the purpose. So we'll go and we'll put this back. All right. And then one of the things you can do is just take both strings and pull them, and that will get rid of some of the excess room. And that also makes it so when you have this button here, when you're running the weed whacker on full speed and you're pressing it against the ground, it will force these strings to pop out, so you don't have to keep going back and opening up your spool for no reason. You can just cut this off from right here. I would actually say about here is a pretty good length for actually doing the job. You can go a little bit longer. I just wouldn't go this long. If you're this long on both sides, what's gonna happen is it'll unbalance the machine a little bit, one, but two, it takes a lot more power from your machine to be able to whip around something that's that long, which will eventually mess up your engine. Now, with that, that is essentially how to spool a trimmer. Now we're going to kind of switch over to some video, just kind of showing you how to use the trimmer itself. Alright, so here you're going to see an example of a cheat edge, which is when you're kind of going in at that angle. Now a proper edge is going to have it so the head is completely 90 degrees with the ground to give it that nice straight clean line. And here you can see where I'm cutting at a fence. Now the big thing with this is to cut at an angle that's going really directly towards the ground. That way you're not making any marks on the fence, and if you do happen to hit it just a little bit, the grass will grow up above it and cover that mark. So when you have a big area, you can just kind of go over it real quick. Now, kind of the thing with the weed whacker when you're looking at it is, if you're attacking the grass where the grass is on the right side of the weed whacker, it's going to throw it mostly in front of you. If you put it towards the left side of the weed whacker, it's going to come back and hit you. So you just got to be really careful about how you aim it. You don't want to obviously knock someone's window out with a rock or anything like that, so you do have to pay attention to what you're doing. But also the other kind of big thing with this is to make sure you're wearing long pants. I like to wear long pants and boots. It not only does it help keep debris out of my socks and my shoes, it helps so you don't get any bugs or anything getting kicked up at you too, which can be not so fun to deal with.